Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is Let's Play Legends of Dawn, and thank you for watching. Legends of Dawn is an open-world RPG, guys. And the best comparison I can make for this type of game is something like Ultima, back in the day, or if you're looking for more modern reference, a little bit Divinity Original Sin. Kind of. It's a game that requires a lot more investment than the usual game. There's a lot of reading, there's a lot of exploration, there's absolutely zero hand-holding, and most of the time I find these days that gamers aren't willing to make that kind of investment. They kind of like being spoon-fed things, and that's kind of a big deal when it comes to Legend of Dawn, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a bit. It released on Steam June 2013, which, why am I doing such an old game, guys? Well, full disclosure, the developer/publisher, Dream Matrix, reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to check out their game. They mentioned that the game has kind of gotten its ass kicked and pretty much crapped on as far as reviews on Steam and Metacritic goes. It's just been kind of reviewed poorly. And then they continued that they kind of patched up the game. They wanted some fresh reviews, some fresh eyes on it to, show off the work that they had done. So here we are. You can go ahead and get Legends of Dawn on Steam for $19.99, guys. Now, this game basically went through a Kickstarter. It made about $46,000. Its original goal was like $24,000 or something around that line, guys. And when I said this game kind of reminds me of, Ultima or, Divinity Original Sin, there's a couple things, comparisons that we need to make here. First and foremost, Divinity Original Sin made $1 million on Kickstarter. Legends of Dawn made nowhere near that much. So it's not necessarily up to the same quality as something like Divinity Original Sin is. This game is a little bit old school. I mean, for one thing, there's absolutely zero tutorials, which is a little bit frustrating. There's absolutely no explanation of what to do, where to go. You're kind of left to your own device to figure things out. Matter of fact, I had to go on the forums and kind of look things up just to figure out what the hell I was doing. Which, it could be said that, that's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but it could also be said that, hey, that's kind of how games kind of used to be, and that's kind of what you would expect when you're approaching an open world RPG. Well, I kind of find myself going, a little scratch in my head sometimes going, yeah, sure, but, there's a lot of features that aren't explained. There's a lot of tooltips that are just not present. And they kind of just expect you to figure things out for yourself. I mean, they even said go and look up the manual. I mean, who the hell does that these days? I mean, I used to read manuals when I was a kid, and that's really cool and all, but it's just not something you expect most of the times in games these days. Most of the times, it's just kind of put into the game now. So if that's something you're not interested in doing, if you're not interested in reading manuals, if you're not interested in maybe looking up what somebody else had done and figuring out what they, guides and such, then this might not be the game for you. We're going to start off with the options, of course. There is, by the way, absolutely no menu music. I have absolutely no idea why. There's quite a few options here for you to manipulate the graphics with. And this is one thing I will say is that the game does require a little bit of optimization because I have everything on high. But even I find that the game gets a little jerky, and it's not that the game's not graphically impressive. It's not. It's okay. But it does require, I think, a little bit more optimization still. It still has a little bit of jerky issues. It runs okay for the most part, but it does kind of stutter occasionally. You have some audio sliders. The controls are right here. They're completely recombinable, which is really, really freaking nice. You can change it like whatever the frick you want, basically. And that's really nice. I enjoy rewindable keys. It's always a good thing to have in RPGs because then, you're going to be playing this game with the, keyboard and mouse mostly. There's no controller support. So it's nice to have that option to kind of just set things up the way you want them because you're going to be playing this game possibly for, hours and hours and hours. So you want to have things set up the way you want. There's quite a few language options, it looks like. That's really freaking sweet. How many voiceovers? Just one, just English. Okay. You can also change how often the game saves and intervals. Okay, so I was originally going to load into the game that I've been playing for a while, but I kind of want to start a new game because I think that's kind of the main thing about this game is that the first 45 minutes are what's going to sell or kill a game, essentially. That's basically what's going to happen. You're going to play a game for 45 minutes, and you're going to get your first initial impressions within that 45 minutes. At least that's what I find. 45 minutes to an hour and a half at the most. And the problem with this game is 45 minutes are not necessarily the most stellar. It's a game that requires a lot more investment than I would have expected. So you have a little bit of Character Creator. It really kind of reminds me of an MMO, this Character Creator. we're going to go ahead and load up. We're going to create a new character. And there's 3 races right here. Elf, humans, and the Danians. No explanation as to who the hell they are or what they want. They're just this weird, funny looking, I don't know, they look like they got like their faces caught in a wood chipper or something. I'm not really sure what's up with this race. But you could be a female Danian, you could be a male Danian. Ooh, I think we flash fast enough. We can see them naked, oh my. You could be a male elf, a female elf. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make an elf here. There's one thing for you to understand, though, is that there's not necessarily, the character models, they're kind of strange, I found. They're not necessarily the world's most attractive models. I should probably mention the stats here. I just literally skipped over it. But yeah, there's stats here. Again, it's kind of basic RPG stuff. If you need help figuring out what this is, you're not going to get any of it because for the most part, they don't really, there's no tooltips, nothing of the sorts. But you get the basic idea. Strength is strength. Dexterity probably helps you shoot a bow. Probably helps you dodge attacks. Vitality is for health. Charisma helps you deal with other NPCs, and intelligence probably relates somehow to some sort of magical shit. Again, there's no tooltips. You can click on it, but it doesn't really do anything. Right-clicking on it does nothing. But to be honest, let's be honest here. We've been playing RPGs for how long? You should be able to figure this crap out for yourself. You can place the stats however you like. You get 15 of them. I'm just hitting random for the sake of this particular video. You do have, like I said, some character customization, but they're not exactly what you would expect. Stereotypical characters kind of look like. I will say the hair choices are rather unusual in this game. Like, that is an actual hairstyle. Who in the hell would cut their hair that way? I don't really know. But, you do have the option to kind of mess around, get some weird, funky hairstyles. I guess they were just trying to go with something exotic and different. I guess they're just really into bald chicks. I'm not really sure. But, also, if we flash this fast enough, you can actually see the eyeballs. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, we're just going to go with this face. You can also change the hair color a little bit. You can make it like pink. Let's make it pink. Can we make it pink? Is that pink? I can't really tell. That's pink-ish. There we go. And then we can also change the skin color. Let's make her a little extra pink. There we go. She looks like she got burned in a tanning salon. I noticed that this skin tone thing doesn't necessarily match what's going on here on the screen. Like, this is pink. Why does she look so burned? I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that the light's affecting her skin. We're going to hit next. We've got a couple of difficulties here you can change it from. It doesn't really matter. I imagine it probably affects certain aspects like damage and things like that. You have a name generator. We're going to go with whatever that name works. We're going to hit start character now. And then things kind of just start off basically loading up into the game here. There's a little bit of voice acting in the game, which is... I wish I speak well of the voice acting. It's not the greatest voice acting in the world. And you'll hear what I'm talking about here in a bit here once the game finally does load up. The games, look, no, I don't believe there's any game that is utter crap. I think every game has something that... Oh God.
For leaving you the way I did. But I couldn't let you accompany me any further. You've
come
too far as it
what's
is,
wrong with his
I could
mouth?
never forgive myself if harm should befall you on my account. I understand youth and the eagerness to prove oneself, but someday, hopefully, you will thank me. By the time you receive this letter, you would have...
Is your father the devil? What's wrong with his voice?
On the shores of River Arno, the wild region was, until recently, a battlefield. The stage where we defeated the dwarven clans. There are some elven settlements in the district, so you can infer the complexity of the situation. Peace is fragile.
Okay, that's enough of that. Look, the voice acting is not really stellar here. You will go to the north. It really is not much. I'm not a huge fan of the voice acting in this game. There is quite a bit of it. Like, your character has like a voice. Certain NPCs you talk to will have a voice. And it's kind of hilarious. So you kind of start off in this little area right here, and there's absolutely no explanation of what to do from this point forward. I kind of had to figure it out on my own. I actually played the game for an hour, guys, and I really didn't accomplish much. Eventually I figured out, hey, you can actually walk up to NPCs and right-click on them and get them to talk to them.
Sleep well? Your guardian, Sir Herkin Salavan, has left to investigate those strange things going on around the village, and he told me to welcome you. First, take your weapon and other stuff. It's in a crate on the ship. Then come back to me.
Now, this might look like the semblance of a tutorial right here, right? It's really not. It doesn't really trust me when I say that was kind of like, I was like, oh, there's a tutorial. But trust me when I say there isn't a tutorial here, guys. You kind of just grab stuff, and then from here on out, it kind of just leaves you to your own devices. You'll see what I'm talking about in a bit here.
Very good. You could buy me a beer now. It's a custom in these lands for a guest to treat the host. The traders in the village sell it. You'll see that some traders belong to the North Trading Guild, and others are independent. Their prices may differ depending on what terms you're on with the guild. The inn is the best place for a good drink.
That's it. That's pretty much the entire tutorial right there. You are left to your devices to figure out where the hell the inn is, where to go, what to do, how to even earn the money for that. It's not like he gave me the money for that. I have 2 copper in my bag. I have basically 2 pennies in my bag right now. He absolutely no explanation of how to get that beer, how to afford that beer. And that beer, by the way, is god dang expensive. Last time I checked, it was like a silver and 58 copper, which is absolutely insane. So basically, you're kind of left to your own devices. It's a very open world RPG. You can explore. As far as the UI goes, you can see on the top right, there's your health bar, your mana bar. On the bottom left is your action bar. On the bottom left is your little combat log. And then on the top left, you have the mini-map. And then a bunch of buttons that basically take you to a bunch of different screens, like your quest log, your power bar, your skill bar, your Dwarven Chronicles bars, your achievement bars, all sorts of crazy stuff here. Old, basically RPG stuff. But again, you're not really going to get any access to that. You don't really feel like a badass when you first start playing this game, which is a little bit of an issue for me. Music just cut off, by the way. It kind of makes you feel like, okay, you're just a peon. For God's sakes, I'm getting a guy a beer for the first hour of the game. Because you actually have to earn the money to get that beer yourself. How do you do that? Well, you basically just have to start robbing the entire town. As you see, basically, grab everything from boxes and crates. Sometimes you'll get lucky and maybe find something really expensive in them. But basically, you just need to start just pillaging the town.
So,
is the best way
this is the
I can
famous
say
Corden's Fall, the small village with a big reputation. Everyone wants a chance at the wealth to be happy.
Who's she
in their
talking
minds.
to?
Money can't make this autumn gloom go away. I need to get out of here before the first snow.
Who's she, like, gesturing towards right now? I'm just curious. Has she lost her damn mind? She sees an invisible force there. You can zoom in quite a bit, by the way, which is kind of neat also. I think if you press the X button, you can also draw your weapon. Yeah, so you can see, like, there. Well, kind of show you there. It kind of just, yep, there you go. So yeah, basically, she's just insane. She's talking to herself. There's a lot of deep lore here for you to read and get into. But for the most part, it's just kind of thrust upon you. There's not really kind of easing you into it. There's not a lot of, you just, okay, there's stuff going on. There's
Sailor?
factions.
If you have something to say,
figure it
spit
out. Okay, I'm just going to keep skipping through the dialogue here. Because I kind of want to show you where the beer is and how much it costs. But I better start looting shit, I just realized, on the way there. Otherwise, I'll never be able to afford it. So yeah, we're just going to start making our way here. This is literally our first quest, by the way. Get a freaking beer. It's about as epic as it sounds. So let's chip down with this. Okay, it should be 7 silver pieces. That should be enough, theoretically, to buy our beer. So we're going to start heading this way. As far as the graphics go, like I said, they're nice. There's just a couple issues with performance issues. Like I said, it's just kind of just slows down and has FPS drops. Again, I think it's just optimization issues, to be honest with you, because it doesn't really matter what I set the settings to. I set it to high, I set it to low. It still had those just frame rate drops occasionally, which was rather strange.
Well, look at that. The town
Yes. Okay, so is there anything to rob in here? Could this open it? This is a weird rune game. Certain like things are locked. Again, I read this all through the forums and basically from what other people have told me. There's no tutorial really on much of anything of this.
Merchant Raddick. Not only has Barlin withdrawn food from us, he's withholding.
Crap! I didn't mean to talk to you. Crap! That's fine. That guy just offered me a quest. As you can imagine, merchants offer, wares. You can buy swords and all the sorts of good stuff here. My amethyst chipped marganite here is only worth 28 copper. So we're gonna sell it. Just sell everything in our bag. Just sell it all. Okay. Okay. Sell all. Okay. Sell. Which now we have. Looks like 47 copper. The beer, by the way, is over here, and it is insanely expensive. Which is one of the issues I have with this game, by the way, is that it seems like the price ratios for things are a little bit off. Like, okay, this beer, where is it at? I saw it just a little earlier. Is it downwards? It's very dark, I'll say that much. The words, grog, northern ale, where the hell's the beer, man? Beer, there we go, beer, okay. $1.74, okay, so that costs $1.74 silver. And then I'm gonna find something over here. I think, like, it's hilarious is that, like, weapons, like a battle axe, will be, you know, cheaper than a beer when I go to sell this axe over here. I'm gonna find a weapon over here in this crate, something over here I can sell. Then I'm gonna sell that. Looks like I didn't get it this time. Pooh. Last time I found like a battle axe. It was a great battle axe. I couldn't afford the freaking beer, even with selling a great battle axe. It's just there's certain price variances that just are kind of silly. I don't really understand some of them. Sometimes you would think a battle axe, something a huge metal axe, would be more expensive than a beer, especially. So we're gonna just keep gathering crap. Like I said, this is kind of the first quest, is just to gather beer. It's just for the first hour of the game. This has already been like a 20-minute video. It's not. I wish it was a little bit more epic, is the best way to describe it. Okay, so this two-handed sword, we're gonna sell it. Okay, I'm gonna sell it. It's a magical two-handed sword, by the way. You can see it's kind of sparkly. It does quite a bit of damage. Damage 8 or 6, I should say. It's kind of magical. It's worth 51 copper, but on its actual cost, it's 12 silver pieces. Again, this does not have the value of a beer. The sword. It's a sword. Where the hell is... What is in that beer? I have no idea. Chipped ruby. A ruby. A gemstone. Not as expensive as a beer. It's just prices are just really just kind of oddly off. I still don't have enough. Jesus Christ. Did I already loot that? Did I loot you? You're locked. Can I open you with any of these? Nope. Nope. Nope, sure can't. Okay. I have no idea if I'm even doing that correctly, to be fair, though. Okay, here we go. We should have enough after we sell all this crap. There we go. Perfect. Fantastic. Well, this guy has absolutely no problem that I'm just looting all his shit and selling it. He's like, oh yes, this was just in my crate. Thank you for selling it to me. Here's the money for it. He's totally cool with that. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to buy our beer and deliver it to that guard. Now, this took me an hour. An hour to figure out, by the way. I had no idea what I was doing. It took me an hour to figure this all out. Because I thought, I'm like, is there something I did wrong? It's just the game. The best way to describe it, like I said, it's just the game does no hand holding. It kind of just expects you to figure things out for yourself, which is great. But the problem is this isn't the 90s anymore. You know, there's certain things that could have been just a little bit easily more done. I wish there was a little bit more of a tutorial, but from what I understand, they couldn't do a tutorial because of budget constraints. Which, okay, I guess, but at the same time, there's just certain things that just... I still feel like they could have been done probably a little bit better. Right now we're experiencing a little lack of that waterfall right there. I don't know what's in that waterfall, but apparently it's just really graphically intense. So we got our beer, we're going to take it back now. That's going to lead to our next quest, hopefully, here. And then we'll get to show off a little bit of the combat. Which also has a couple issues here and there that kind of need to be worked out, I feel. So we're going to go over here, we're going to deliver our beer. Epic beer quest. It's just, the problem is, I think just with in competition with this game.
Great.
It's kind of crazy because...
But I guess you're on duty. Look around the
He's going to tell me to go
village.
kill a
No
giant
bad news
spider. I'm
for us
not going to
these
read all
days.
this crap
The
and let him
mine
talk.
in the outskirts isn't the only one with problems.
Yeah, see,
I
there's
hope you sharp. My friends tell me the monster infestation around the village is larger than we
a
thought.
tiny white spider
Tiny
has
white
camped out
spider
near the
is
gates in the
camped near the
southeast.
gate to just remember
You
these
go,
things.
real guard. Go there and defeat it. Okay. So we got our first quest there. We switch basically. We got that done. Now we're gonna go take out a spider. What I was trying to say was, I feel the problem with Legends of Dawn is its competition it's kind of outweighs this game quite a bit. For $20, you're buying Legends of Dawn. It's an okay game. It's okay. It has some pretty cool ideas, but to be honest, for one thing, it doesn't let you access any of those cool ideas until way later in the game. I don't have access to combat abilities or spells or anything of that sort. All I have is my dinky ass sword or whatever I find in these boxes. It doesn't really make you feel all that epic, which can be slightly frustrating at times. We need to start heading this way so that way we can head towards the gate here. Did I just run right over that?
Temple of Velis the Beautiful.
Please shut up. I'm not a fan of the voice acting. Did I go the wrong way? It's possible I went the wrong way. Okay, so I'm a little lost. There we go. We're supposed to go that way. There we go. It's just, the game has issues, guys. It's not a bad game. I just think that compared to its competition, it's just not going to stack up. It requires a lot of investment, a lot of time investment, and that's cool. I like that aspect. I like that it's open world. It's free for you to explore. You don't have to do any of these bullshit quests. You don't have to deliver this guy beer, but you can basically do whatever you want. But the problem is that if you don't know anything about this game, you don't know anything about open world RPGs, for instance, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to have a hard time figuring it out. It's a lot of trial and error. He's going to basically tell us that there's a bunch of spiders attacking the gate. We're going to help them defend it. And basically the way combat works is you walk up to something, you left click it, and then you start attacking it. But here's the immediate problem you find. I am now locked. As you can see, I'm left clicking, right clicking the shit out of this thing. I can, for some reason, I'm not attacking. I can only attack it again until I start moving again. So I need to do this weird dance. The character animations kind of get stuck. And sometimes you'll start seeing numbers fly. I'm getting hurt really hard. We'll let that guy do some of the work there. You'll start seeing numbers fly when you're not actually attacking anything, which is kind of hilarious. I'm dying. I'm dying. You got that, buddy? I'll stay back here. I don't have anything to eat. You did a good job, man. You're kicking ass. Yeah. There we go. I helped, right? I totally helped there. Darian.
I killed most of the spiders myself. Here, take this armor.
Okay. So they gave me an armor. I completed another quest. Huzzah. The combat kind of locks up. And I don't know if it's because of the animations or what, but the combat just locks up completely, and then you're just kind of left-clicking and right-clicking like mad, and absolutely nothing is happening until you kind of jerk your character, like move in one direction, you press WASD, and kind of tap your character in one direction, then it kind of resets the animation. These things, by the way, are little lore pieces. They're really cool. The game has a lot of writing in it, a lot of lore to kind of bite into. Okay, here we go. I can take the spider by myself. Come on. And it doesn't do that all the time. I mean, sometimes it does work just fine. But I've noticed that it just kind of randomly happens when it kind of gets locked in place. Like, I didn't even swing my sword that time, and he just dropped dead. I just looked at him, and he's like, "Ah! You have defeated me!" But as you can see, the game is really vast. There's a lot to explore. I'm trying to hit the M button here. There's lots to explore. This is just one area of the game. Again, we're not swinging our sword. What? Nothing? Hello? There we go. There we go. There we go, yeah. Yeah! He's running away! Coward! There you go, we got him. There's another one right here behind me. I think, right? Ow! He hit me from behind! Again, not swinging my sword. Combat animations just kind of get locked up. I'm left clicking like mad right now and nothing's happening. I'll jerk my character once though, and then I can suddenly swing again. It's just a weird glitch in combat. I don't know what's causing that. I don't know why it does that. It just does. So we have to find the white spider, and then we're going to go turn that in, hopefully. And then we can possibly see... For God's sakes. Die! Ugh, take that! I'm locked up again. Oh, here comes the white spider. I'm gonna die. Yep, I'm gonna die. She just turned me into a giant snow cone. Please, please, giant white spider, please. Please. Mercy. Mercy. Mercy! Mercy? Oh, I'm dead. Regenerate? Oh, okay, so I guess we just got to go back here then. So, we lost. We died. By the way, when you die, basically, if we had completed that quest, we'd have to come back all the way to this guy. There's a lot of backtracking in this game also, which can be a little bit frustrating, seeing how your character just kind of moves at this one particular speed. There's no quick travel as far as I'm aware. There could be a spell or something, but I don't have access to spells. Where are the spells at? Is it O? Is it P? Oh, it's P, yeah. There's spells. I'd love to have access to spells from some sort of abilities at the start, but like I said, you just kind of start off with your dinky-ass sword, and that's about it. So just to wrap up, guys, I'm going to go back to the main menu here. Eventually. The game, it has its issues. Is it a total crap game? No, it's not a total crap game. There's a lot of things for you to bite into here. It's just a game that requires a shit ton of investment, which is, cool if you want to make that investment. But there's also games out there that, in my opinion, do things a little bit better than Legends of Dawn does for just a couple bucks more. So, I mean, take that as you will. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say that any game is crap. This entire game is crap, but it's just, it has its issues. If you can accept those issues, if you're willing to make that investment, if you're willing to read manuals, if you're willing to read other people's posts and their experiences with this game, you might enjoy Legends of Dawn. But the average gamer, the short attention spans, they don't want necessarily to make this much of an investment for this game, especially when there's other games out there that perhaps do things a little bit better than this one does. But again, it's, it is what it is, guys. So I just want to say a big thanks to the developer for a chance to check out this title. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, and I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, maybe consider hitting up that tip jar if you're feeling generous of heart. All tips go to improving the channel or future giveaways. Till next time, play more indie games.